You ever have one of those mornings where you think, well, today's the day I get arrested for painting my porch? No, just me? I wish I was joking, but there I was, paintbrush in hand, soaking up the sharp mountain air when Darlene Pritchard rolled up in her luxury SUV looking like she owned half the county. I'll tell you right now, if you ever want to know what absolute power with zero self-awareness looks like, find yourself an HOA president in a red power suit holding a clipboard like it's the sword of justice. That's Darlene. And buddy, she came for blood. She marched right up my gravel drive, her heels crunching like she was stomping out snakes. Didn't bother with hello. Just, you know this cabin violates HOA regulations. Accusation. No preamble, classic Darlene. I leaned back against my porch post, arms crossed, heart rate steady as a sunrise. You don't have jurisdiction here. This land isn't under your rules. Her lips did that tight little thing people do right before they try to sell you something you already own. That's not how this works, she said. Sunrise Valley has standards. Oh, I bet it does, Darlene. The truth? My place, timber, stone, 1,500 square feet of peace, sits 50 meters outside her precious HOA's boundary. The old couple I bought it from made sure of it, and I double-checked with my own GPS. Just last year, out of curiosity more than paranoia. But ever since I closed on this cabin, I'd had a sense trouble was brewing. So, like any reasonably cautious hermit writer, I installed a set of 4K security cameras all around the property. Not because I expected drama, just because I've learned that people who crave control usually find a way to create it. And let me tell you, Darlene was just getting warmed up. She slapped a violation notice down on my railing. $500 for unauthorized construction, $200 for unapproved exterior paint, all due in 7 days. I didn't even touch the paper. I told her, I'm 50 meters outside your boundary. Check the county records. This land was deeded in 2009. Your HOA came in after. But Darlene, she didn't hear me. She wasn't listening for facts. She was listening for fear, and when she didn't find it, she pressed in, voice sharp as attack. I don't care what you think the boundaries are. Your little shack is dragging down property values. Comply, or I escalate. She turned on her heel, drove off in a cloud of gravel and entitlement, and I just stood there, watching the dust settle, thinking, yeah, this is about to get real interesting. I snapped photos of every document, saved everything to the cloud, then sat down with a strong cup of coffee and pulled out the deed, the survey map. Title insurance, all notarized and legit. I traced the line with my finger, outside the HOA, clear as daylight. I even called up my real estate attorney, Miles Harlow. Guy's got a voice like a friendly pitbull. I told him what happened. He chuckled, let her keep going. Folks like her, they always overreach. And boy, did she. Next day, another letter in the mailbox, same threats. Different envelope. I logged it, called Miles again. Put it on record and ignore it. He said, she's building your case for you. Then, 2 days later, I find a bright orange sticker on my truck. Parking violation, $300. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my phone. My truck, parked in my own driveway, outside the HOA. Still, I photographed everything, logged the evidence, GPS screenshot, and all. That afternoon, I got a call from a board member, Leonard Vickers. Guy sounded nervous, like he wanted to be anywhere but on the phone with me. Darlene can be persistent. It might be easier for everyone if you just comply, pay the fines, repaint the cabin. I told him, my land isn't under your authority, and I'm not paying 1 cent for someone else's boundaries. He hesitated, then warned me. She's talking about liens and legal action. I thanked him and hung up, recording the call for good measure. That night, I checked the community's online group. Darlene had posted a photo of my cabin, all crooked angles and harsh light, calling it visual pollution and blaming me for property value loss. Most folks cheered her on, but one guy, Fletcher Boone, the retired carpenter, commented, still outside the HOA boundary. You can check with the county. Got laughed at, but it stuck with me. Next morning, I met with Miles, handed him a USB drive with all my evidence, photos, emails, videos, even that phone call. He smiled. She's documenting her own harassment. Perfect. I'll draft a cease and desist. If she ignores it, we file a lawsuit. Harassment, defamation, abuse of authority. He was dead serious. Don't engage. Let her keep talking. I followed that advice. Every threat, every fake fine, every public post, logged, timestamped, saved. Even started a color-coded spreadsheet, red for direct confrontations, yellow for written threats, blue for online defamation. I gathered official copies of my deed, boundary maps stamped by the county, and even got a high-res digital overlay showing my cabin a full 53 meters outside the HOA's line. No gray area, just cold, hard data. For witnesses, I reached out to Fletcher. Met him at his place, old guy, steady hands, seen it all. He gave a recorded statement, confirmed everything. My cabin's always been outside the HOA. Darlene's bullied plenty before me. His words carried the weight of 40 years in this town. But Darlene wasn't done. Friday afternoon, I come home to find her and 2 HOA goons in my yard, measuring my foundation and snapping photos. I stayed calm. You're trespassing, I said. This is outside your boundary. She tried to bluff, said she had the authority. I pulled out my phone, called the sheriff. 10 minutes later, Sheriff Caldwell showed up. Man's got a poker face, but eyes that miss nothing. Darlene gave her speech about community standards and legal right to inspect. Caldwell just looked at me. You got documentation? I handed over my binder, certified deed, survey, county maps. He checked it all, nodded. This property is outside the HOA boundary. Darlene protested, tried to argue the map was wrong. Caldwell shut her down, issued a formal warning for trespassing, and told her if she came back, she'd be arrested. She left in a cloud of rage and gravel. That was it. I had her on video, in front of a lawman. Sent everything to Miles. By Monday, the lawsuit was ready. Harassment, trespass, defamation, abuse of authority, backed up by more evidence than most people bring to a murder trial. We filed for $50,000 in damages and a permanent restraining order. That same day, I got word. The county was opening a formal investigation into the HOA. The next twist? A retired nurse reached out. She'd been fined $500 over a garden fence 2 inches too tall. I paid, cut it down, but I regret it, she said, voice shaking a little. She agreed to provide a statement for my case and gave me names of others. With the lawsuit filed, a county hearing got scheduled. The room was packed, residents, reporters, the whole HOA board. I presented my evidence, slide after slide, video after video, showed the line, the timeline, the threats, the trespass. When Darlene took the stand, she tried to twist it, claimed my cabin was bringing down values, tried to argue for extended jurisdiction. The county board wasn't buying it. The property is definitively outside the HOA boundary. All actions constitute harassment, trespass, and abuse of authority. The verdict? HOA ordered to cease all enforcement. Darlene to issue a public apology, mandatory compliance training, and a county monitor for a year. The look on her face, I'll never forget it. For the first time, the feed on the community page was filled with relief, people sharing their own stories, even thanking me for standing up. A week later, I got her apology, 1 page of lawyerly regret. Not heartfelt, but public, and it did the trick. Soon after, her attorney reached out. She'd settle the civil lawsuit. $30,000, permanent restraining order, no contest. I took the deal. By the time the money hit my account, the tension was gone. For the first time in months, I sat on my porch, coffee in hand, just watching the sunrise over the mountains. No more threats, no more fines, just quiet, the good kind. A retired carpenter stopped by. You changed the whole community, he told me. I hadn't done it for that. I just wanted what was right. But soon I started getting messages from other towns, other counties, folks dealing with their own power-hungry HOAs. You showed me it was possible to fight back the right way, one guy wrote. My advice was always the same. Document everything. Don't get emotional. Let them make the mistakes, and let the law do its job. See, that's the thing about power. It isn't loud or showy. It's not a red suit and a clipboard. Real power is knowing your rights, having proof, and being willing to wait for the truth to come out. Darlene thought her title made her untouchable, but the law doesn't care about titles. It cares about facts. And in the end, truth trumps authority every time. So if you're out there, dealing with your own Darlene, Don't let them make you feel small. Don't fight anger with anger. Fight it with patience, with documentation, with the law. That's how you win, not by sinking to their level, but by standing taller. Now, let me throw it to you. Have you ever tangled with an HOA or some petty authority figure who pushed too far? Where do you draw the line between community standards and personal freedom? Drop your story, your opinion, your outrage, right here in the comments. Because, trust me, you're not alone. And the more we talk about it, the stronger we get. Thanks for sticking with me through this wild ride. Share this story if you know someone who needs a little reminder that justice still means something.